Hello, welcome to JALT 2020. My name is Hidayat Polim and my colleague.
My name is Johan.
So we are here today to share about strategies to succeed as a non-native speaker teacher.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so today we're gonna do a quick introduction about us, and then we're gonna do technology competency. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about technology competency for teachers, just to promote themselves as teachers so that they can get more recognized and hopefully get more work opportunities ahead. And my colleagues will share technology competency for students. And then also my colleague will talk about building connections, and I will talk about formal training, and we're gonna wrap it up and then have Q&A session with you guys afterwards. So without further ado, here's a quick introduction about Hidayat.
Alright, so my name is Hidayat Polim. I'm from Indonesia, same as Mr. Johan. So I've been here in Japan since 3 years ago. I came here to pursue my master in TESOL back in Soka University in 2017. And currently I'm working as a main teacher in Sagamihara, Japan. So today I would really grateful that I could share my experience as a non-native speaker teacher, and I hope this experience can also be helpful for others. And as a teacher, I would like to share how and what did I do to get through my job hunting period and also gain the employment within a month after graduation. So that's for me, and back to you, my dear colleague, Mr. John.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, so recently I got a teacher's license from the Hawaii Teacher Standards Board. I am a qualified primary school teacher and also ESOL from K to 12. I love traveling. My latest achievement was to go to Rwanda and Ghana back in 2018. Really want to travel again when COVID-19 is over. I used to work at the British Council, and I presented in 2018, actually, JALT 2018, and that's how we met, and this how this presentation came to be. So I'm very glad for this opportunity. And technology competency. Take it away.
Right, thank you, Mr. Johan. So today, to start the presentation, I would like to share my insight from my workplace about technology competency. So, yes, I was once an enthusiast for computer and computer science related topics, but as the time goes by, the technology is advancing more than we can imagine. So I was not that well updated and knowledgeable about IT once I started my work about 8 months ago. But through that, I can learn a lot, and then I even once scolded that I was like lack of confidence, but I do my best in my work, and I had the chance to deliver my first summer project lesson, which is about microbit. Next slide, please. So I worked even harder, and I could finally deliver my lesson for the student who registered the course. And microbit is one of the microcomputers, so we can do a lot of things with this. And yes, through the hard work, I believe that I really gained the trust from my employer as I improved my skill in IT. And as I learned, even it is a brief experience, if we are about to teach in this technological era, so we should really learn and improve ourselves in computer science or games related topics. Even by knowing about playing games is one of the good advantages that we can implement in our own teaching. I was once against gaming, but now through games I can really utilize it for my teaching. Next slide, please. So why is it important to learn and improve our skill in games or even computer science? By learning those skills, actually we are not teaching only one skill, but multiple skills. We learn language skill, critical thinking. Take for example the first game here, Minecraft. So students, they learn about language in an item in English, for example, like they name the item they have, like package or woods. So within the game, they really learn the language, and they also learn critical thinking, how they can survive in the games. So there are many obstacles in the game, so they learn like the real world problems. And further on, they also improve their motivation and their teamwork during playing the games. So these are all skills which are essential in this 21st century. So next slide, please. Lastly, I would like to suggest if we all, we can actually feel free to deepen our skills in IT from this platform here, like Coursera, edX, or FutureLearn. So by doing that, we really like give an added value to our own professional trajectory. So that's from me. Let's get back to Mr. Johan.
Please, next slide. Okay, so yeah, I just want to talk about, my colleague has just shared sort of like skills that you can develop for your students. I want to share skills that you can develop for you. So everybody knows YouTube. You can make your own channel, right? I have my own channel. My hobby is collecting back notes, but at the same time, I love, like when I'm teaching, I just can't teach without PowerPoint slides. And I make lots and lots of PowerPoint slides, and then in the end, I just delete it. And because I have a small computer, and just when going through the files, I was like, when am I gonna use this again? And then I just ended up deleting it. So actually, as I become older, now I have a son. I need to save time so that I can spend more time with my son. So I just make PowerPoint slides, and then I'll turn it into a movie, and I'll just upload it on YouTube. So it's like 1 in 100 chances. So like after I make 100 slides, then when I'm teaching, like for example, I have a new private student or things like that, and then I want to use that slide again, then I can just like, I remember I made that slide, so I can kind of like recycle. So that is how I use YouTube. Sorry, please, next slide. And another way is obviously you make your own videos. So for example, in one of my part-time jobs, I was teaching science. So I was really excited doing this project. So I don't know, I'm not a good science teacher, but I'm willing to learn. And then I made this video, which is soaking eggs with drinks. So I compared between beer, tea, and apple juice with eggs, and then kind of like did a sort of analysis of how the eggs turned out. And it's not a brilliant video, but when you're teaching, and then when your students see you in your own video, it's more personalized. So I feel like you can build better connections with the students if you make your own materials. So that's one thing. Please, next slides. And another one is WordPress. Obviously, you guys know this one. WordPress is actually quite tricky. People say, well, depending on who you talk to, maybe people say, oh man, it's so easy to make, but it's not that easy. You gotta put in the hours to kind of like learn how to navigate through WordPress so that you can make a nice presentation like this. So please, next slide. This is a brilliant place for you to practice your writing. I'm always, even though I consider myself pretty good at the English language, but I'm still, wanting to improve more and more and more, so that when I'm writing, it's, it flows nicely. I'm always constantly reading Guardian and stuff, just to making sure that I'm updated with the English language. So definitely a good way to improve yourself is through blogging. Very next slide. And lastly, I just want to talk about Facebook business page. I mean, I've done a couple of presentations where I kind of just, show off my achievement on Facebook business page. It's a bit blurry, but once you've kind of constantly built your sort of reputation, you will be noticed. If you know Marek Hicks-Kowiak, he runs the TEFL Equity and advocates. So, he's advocating for non-native teachers. So, and we want to do a project together. So I'm very excited to have a project with him. Next slide. Oh yeah, and just he commented on my post twice. So he's keen, I'm keen, we're excited, and that's it. That's it for me. And building connections.
Alright, thank you. Great part from Mr. Johan. And next, we're gonna talk about building connection. So, we go to the next slide. Here, man is by nature a social animal by Aristotle. So, this is a fact that we are human, are social creature, right? So no one can deny this. Whether we are, we have personality of introvert or extrovert or other personality traits, no matter it is, there is a fact that we can't deny, which is we need to connect with others. So this whether connection and also making friends were all my weakest point when I was a very quiet kid, and also I have confidence. So these issues were in my life, and through that I can really keep asking in myself, and I built my own personal research, if I can call it so. So through my own personal research, I gradually developed interest in networking and also building connection when I was back in my undergraduate in Indonesia. So today I'm grateful that for having this presentation with Mr. Johan, so where I can share my own experience, tips, and also hand-on strategies to expand our networks. But by any means, I am not an expert, and through my unique experience, I hope this could really help another non-native speaker teachers in this field. Next slide, please. There are actually only two steps that I would like to share today. The first is, of course, to get started. So what we should do is to set a growth mindset, the mindset of learning. So this mindset means that we always want to improve, to develop ourselves. So try to be open, be optimistic, learn to be a good listener. And at the same time, we just need to be ourselves. So be confident. But how? Simply by putting smile on our face. Is that simple? So maybe it's easier said than done, but let's take a look at deeper from what I've learned, some aspect that I could share today. This next slide. From my experience, I learned that everyone has their own insecurities. No one is perfect. So I myself is not perfect, and by no means if we are to share, to build and to expand our network with others, we don't need to be afraid. It doesn't mean that we have no flaws, but everyone is at certain level of learning, and we really have to be our own self because we have a clear goal that we set, and we know that the mission that we have is bigger than our own fears. So by that, this leads to our second step in building connection. Next slide, please. Which is taking action. So I believe everyone here all do take action. That's why we are here in this JALT online conference. So the first step, setting our mindset, growth mindset, and the second step, even more important, taking action. So as we are taking action, we are really putting ourselves ahead, and we can really connect with people. No one can connect with others without taking action. Next slide, please. So in this field, being involved in the community is one of the most essential things. Participating and then being active. So through my own experience, I did from my first year as a graduate school student, and I joined the JALT conference, and through that experience I really learned a lot, that I could meet more experienced teachers and learn the passion and also the spirit of teaching and sharing. And one of the exact benefits that we can gain through communities is the sense of solidarity. So we are all together, we are growing together. So through that we can like really engage and support each other. And it, in terms of like getting more opportunities for employment or even personal or professional development, so it doesn't mean that by joining one of the teaching communities we directly get a job, but it's really open up our network and opportunities and doors to more job offer. And it's all back to our own efforts, but we should believe on the power of networking, because in our journey we can meet many types of opportunities that can really help us to gain a job. But through my own experience, networking is the most powerful and really the right one. Okay, next slide please. So if we are expanding our network, we have also strengthened and deepened our connection. Here, there are 2 tips that we can do as a teacher to really like deepen our connection. First is like to create chances. So create chances to meet others, and then this can be through attending conference, seminar, we can join online events. So through that we can really like meet other people, even social media and informal dinner party, for example. We can really deepen our bond with other teachers. And another thing that is more important, we can really initiate the routines for project. For example, if we want to maintain the connection with others, we can create project together, make a presentation, or work for like interview, and even only like sharing session or discussion. These tips is actually the tips that I learned from my colleague, Mr. Johan, as we were connecting through Facebook Messenger and were exchanging ideas, and we talked about what kind of project that we can do. And that's why we are here today to share with you our presentation. And I was so grateful that he gave me the trust that to work together. And really, I hope this really can help us to expand our connection. Yes, so back to you.
Okay.
Next part, Mr. Johan.
Yeah, and just to add, he approached me. He found me actually in 2018. I was presenting, and then after my presentation, he came to me and he said hello. Oh, hi. It's easier for us to kind of like get to know each other. Just to say hello, just because we're both from Indonesia. I don't know how he heard that I'm from Indonesia. Maybe he just saw my name. It's like, oh, that seems like an Indonesian name, and then so that's how we expanded our network. I mean, he found me, and I'm so glad I met him, and then we just kept on talking on Messenger. So yeah.
Alright, so
okay, sorry.
Thank you. So just a little bit sharing. Yeah, here is some of the conference that I had attended since my first year in graduate school. And next slide, please.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, we can also join like online community. I know that JALT, most of the JALT special interest group, they have Facebook account. We can easily join. I think through that we can also gain like more network. And I'm not endorsed by any of this group, but I think we can just take a look at the website, for example, JALT websites, and maybe we can also join ALT Train Online, which is one of my friend, non-native speaker teacher from Nepal, is the admin of the group. So, next slide, please. Okay. So let's get to the next part of building our professional development. So next, it is publication. So this might be the most important thing, but the hardest to start. Okay. For example, if we are really like keen to pursue our career in university level, I think, and from what I heard, the minimum requirement, at least we have 2 or 3 publication or journal articles. So I'm wishing to teach at the university level in the future. I'm working and building up my journal, and in this case I'm grateful, and I think I'm so fortunate that I had the chance to get a grant from JALT, Tokyo JALT last year, and through the report and article that I write, that will be published in the upcoming Tokyo JALT journal. And what I did next for my publication, I also start something simple from publishing my lesson plan. So I found JALT teaching young learners, so we can also publish lesson plan. And in this year, I had the chance to work with my colleagues. We are writing a picture book for kids, which is here, Hero at Home. So the point here is to share to you what the most important thing is to take action. So take action and really like share our own ideas or research that we have done to more people. Next, please. So here, let me share a little bit of my story in job hunting. So the conversation that get me employment, it was actually started when I was back in I was working in the university, and I had appointment with my most respectful professor at that time, and at the same time I met my colleague, actually my senior in TESOL program, who are working as a ALT, assistant language teacher at the university. And at that time, suddenly he came to me and he told me there might be an opportunity to work as a teacher at after school for students with special needs. So at that time I was not sure to take it or not. However, I was willing to try, and then 2 weeks later I get the contract signed in, and I get the confirmation to start working. So this is like about a month after my graduation. So this job opportunity and the job that I got opened up my new journey to step in the teaching career. And this, at the end, I found that this decision that I made was the best decision I've ever made. So I would like to say today that everyone has their own unique story, but at the end we have to be someone who other people can trust. So that's all that I could share for now, and let's get back to Mr. Johan for the formal training, sharing about the formal training that can get you employment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, Johan, you want to share that?
Sure. Yes.
Alright.
Alright.
Forgot about this one.
Okay, so there's one more tips that I would like to share actually. Here. So hands-on tips for now. Actually, what we can do at this time, right at the moment, please feel free, okay, to share your contact email account or any contact through the feature in this Zoom, like from the chat box. So what we can do, if you think that we can connect from now on to like deepen our connection, so it's really helpful for us to encourage each other and even work on something even bigger. And at the end, share our thought. So we have to start to write and work on our goals and really work on something that we can publish or we can share with other people. That's the most important part that really help our personal and professional development. Yes. So now get back to you.
Thanks. No worries. Okay, so yes, building connection is very important. But you know, you will hit a wall if you just solely focusing on just building your connections, building your technology skills. Unfortunately, formal training is also very important. And I say unfortunately because it can, you know, it's expensive and it requires commitment, right? So, you know, people have different stages of their life, you know, whether or not they can study again. So I'm quite kind of like a qualification geek. I just, you know, it's not like I'm just collecting qualifications, but I just, you know, love learning from other people. And if I'm paying money, that means that I have to be committed. You know, there's no turning back. So here you go. So yeah. So I did the Trinity College London D Tassel, and also I got my master's from the University of Sunderland. So I'm gonna talk about these two now. Please next slide. Okay, so Trinity College London D Tassel. So before you can do the dip, you have to do the cert TESOL. I would say it's not really recognized in Japan. I think the market in Asia, this is definitely really good if you want to get a job, you know, somewhere else. You know, obviously if you're looking at Europe, it's really useful. And the reason why I say it's not really recognized in Japan is because the market here is just so wide, right? There's so many language schools out there, and I mean, you know, if one teacher leaves, then kind of like it's not. I would say as an employer, you know, I'm not an employer, but employers would just like, okay, we'll find another teacher. So it's not really recognized, but this is really good if you want to get a job at the British Council. So I would say the reason why I outcompeted the other candidates is because of my qualification right here. And the bad thing is it's only in Tokyo, it's only available in Tokyo. So if you're in Tokyo and you want to take this qualification, good, it's your perfect chance. But if you're out in Aomori and all that other prefectures, you know, you have to actually come to Tokyo and do the practical element and to complete the course. Another positive point will be you can transfer credits to MA, and I'm going to talk about my MA right now. Please, thank you. Oh yeah, so if you want further information, I'm sorry this is very blurry, just search up Trinity College TESOL Japan, and I hope you will find this page. It's run by Shane English School, so Shane English School and Trinity College got a special deal, I guess, sort of a collaboration, so that they can deliver the course. Thanks. Okay, just again, I'll talk about my master's soon. As you can see, Trinity D Tassel is recognized by some universities in the UK. So when you're applying for your master's and when you say that you've got your D Tassel, you can get a cheaper course fee, and also you can skip a couple of modules. Thank you. Okay, so talking about my master's. So as a non-native speaker, obviously I don't have a British passport or an American passport. So if I'm gonna study my master's, it has to be sort of like an international fee, and I hate that so much just because, you know, I'm paying we non-native speakers have to pay 3 times the price of a degree, for example. But very fortunately, you know, I did a lot of research and I found University of Sunderland. You know, as an international student, I just have to pay. I'm paying the same fee as domestic students, so I'm really happy about that. The bad point is it's all online for this particular master's degree. If only they kind of like say, hey, you know, you have, you know, no matter what, even though it's only 2 weeks, you have to be in the UK just to get to know the professors or something, you know, just a sort of face-to-face induction or whatever. That would be really awesome, right? It's just my chance to kind of like explore the UK. Especially, you know, Sunderland is up north, so not many people have the chance to go up. It's well recognized in Japan, and obviously it's university jobs requires master's degree, so really worth it. The British Council, however, prefer the dip over MA. So if you don't have the dip and you have the MA and you're applying for a job and you're competing with someone who has the dip, then the British Council will prefer teachers who have diploma over master's degree. But if you have both, obviously you'll be top of the loop. Career advancements, right? So if you have a master's degree, it's lots of opportunities will arise. And I would say not as caring as the dip, because the dip TESOL was really good because you have sort of like really close contact with your tutor, and if you have a problem, you can just call her, send her an email, and it's really easy. And if you really just want to see her, just travel all the way to Tokyo and make an appointment. So I got so much love from the dip, and actually I failed one exam twice, and my tutor was always kind of like helping me, just backing me up, so just giving me lots of support. Thank you. Okay, as I said earlier, I'm quite a qualification geek. And also at the same time, I got this when I was working at the British Council. Working at the British Council, the one great thing about it is you got lots of access to British universities, right? I think the reason why I was kind of just keen to do this was because one of the Leicester University staffs came to the British Council office and kind of like gave obviously they were selling courses, right? So kind of like gave a nice presentation on just different courses that University of Leicester offers, and I was drawn into this EAP field. The downside, online. It's all online. It's pretty expensive, right? Over £3,000. But the good thing about it is there are EAP gigs in Japan. They are rare, but they do exist. And I got one EAP gig, and it paid really well, so I'm pretty happy with that. IELTS, it's a big business, right? So with this certificate, you'll learn more about sort of like how to prepare students for IELTS, and at the same time, pre-sessional EAP, which is students who are they just need that language skills before they conduct master's degree in the UK or bachelor's degree. Thank you. So after like kind of like a decade or so, sorry, I'm just gonna check the time. Okay, so I need to wrap this up really quickly. Okay, so after a decade of fully teaching English as a full time, I kind of got like this itchy feet, and I kind of just want to experience sort of teaching at international schools. So I got IPVC from the University of Nottingham. It's really good. It's pretty expensive, and I got to go to Hong Kong and make new friends. And yeah, it's good if you want to get into international schools teaching. But unfortunately, because I am a non-Brit and because of the Brexit, it's just really difficult for me to kind of like finish the whole package. And I don't have QTS, and you need QTS to be kind of like on the top of the game. So very unfortunate, but I'm still happy that I did it. I learned a lot. Next. And so again, recently I got the Hawaii Teacher Standards Board. I studied with this Teach Now program. It's based in the US. It took me a good year, and I passed it, and I got qualified, so pretty happy. And I'm also a qualified teacher in DC. And I'm excited to start University of People in November. Like I said, I'm quite sort of like studying for me. It's kind of like relaxing after working actually. So just nice and professionally developed. Okay. Just to wrap it up, teaching is tiring, guys. I remember my first sort of couple of years of teaching. I would spend hours and hours planning my lessons just because I'm not as confident in my English language. I I do a lot of research, you know, when it comes to teaching grammar, or for example, when I'm teaching reading, writing, like, you know, skills in English. So, but then as a non-native speaker, as you become better at it, you spend less time planning. So, and then you have to ask yourself, like, how much do you want it, right? Because your fellow native speaker colleagues will spend half an hour planning and perhaps preparing for this presentation. It'll just take them less time, but for us it just takes more time. So if you're willing to do the hours, if you love it, if you love what you do, then it's very satisfying. Teaching is very satisfying. It's tiring, but it's satisfying. I love it. No pain, no gain. Sorry, talk too much.
Alright, thank you for the great part from Mr. Johan. So for me, it's actually pretty similar to what Johan said. So what I would like to say is, it's never too late to start learning, to start improving and develop our own skills and also professional development. So teaching is hard work. Sweat, tears, efforts are fuels in teaching. Whether we are non-native speaker or native speakers doesn't define our destiny. So keep learning, keep believing in you, and believe it in your work. So that's all from our presentation. I hope you found this valuable, and we'll open for Q&A, question and answer session. So we're glad to hear your feedback, your question. We're gonna discuss it together. Thank you.
This is we kind of just want to make it sort of like exactly 40 minutes. Now it's 37. So we'll just have a casual chat for the next 3 minutes or so. For example, like in making this presentation, I got a bit angry to him because it was taking him a long time to respond to me, but we solved the conflict. Now we're here. He's traveled a long way actually to be here. This is kind of like a room that me and a bunch of other people are renting just because of COVID-19. So that when someone is sick, it's a good sort of spot to recover, because we're all working, right? Really nice. And then so actually the time now it's almost 11 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
So we're working really hard. Because I have a baby, so I asked him if he can come after 9 p.m. and he's very flexible about it. So thank you so much.
We made it.
Yes. And yes, we did it. Oh my gosh,
okay.
This is pretty good. It took me a couple of hours to get the slides ready, and how many hours did it take?
Takes days.
It takes days.
Takes days for me, yeah. Exactly.
But I think when you make things, obviously it's not going to be perfect, but you're kind of like preparing for the next project that you're going to do, right?
Yes, I think
building skills.
Building up. Together for like the next or the future one, I can like have the idea what to do more and what to say more.
Yeah. I'm really glad that this was a successful ending, and maybe we'll do something else. I don't know, related.
You see?
Maybe, not presentation. Maybe we'll do something different. Maybe a publication. Like he said, it's really hard to start. But once you've finished it, once it's accepted, and they'll have a beer.
Yeah. That's the most important. Great.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. 40 minutes is done.
Thank you.